Okay, I'm on my way to work now. Oh my god, I'm tired. Like I said, I don't know which video you're going to get to see or not see or whatever. Like I said, I'm going to try to do it by days though. Like if I pick a day to, you know what, all the videos from that day that I have that I can use on YouTube, I'll use. But the ones I obviously don't, then you'll never see, so it won't matter. And you may not even see this video. But oh my god. Yeah, I'm on my way to work. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm gonna try to drink more water today. You know, I do want to start getting healthy. Remember I said I was gonna try and get healthy, and it's gonna be hard. Remember, I remember like if it was a year ago or two at this point that I like said I was gonna stop drinking soda and start drinking more water, or even just start drinking diet, baloney. But I don't think I'm gonna try drinking any diet. Who am I kidding? That will never happen. I just cannot drink that poison. You know, I just don't want it. But I do need to drink water. And I guess maybe some unsweetened tea couldn't kill me, you know? And I don't know. Occasionally, once in a while, some other things that I shouldn't drink. Like I was thinking, maybe I should just limit myself to one bad drink a day. Like if it's going to be coffee, let it be coffee. It's gonna be a smoothie, be a smoothie, or the vanilla chai that I love to drink or something, you know what I mean? Like every day could be something different, but that way, you know, I don't know, that's gonna be really rough on me, but I'm gonna try it. Now, mind you, I don't want to start today because I already had soda this morning, so it would already be done. I'm like, oh damn, I drank soda, you know what I'm saying? I'd just be like water the rest of the day, but no, you know? So I might start tomorrow, okay? Like, I'm gonna let myself drink one bad drink today, another drink today. So that's two. Cause I mean, I did drink quite a bit of soda, so I was like, ugh. But so one drink today, and everything else better damn well be water. And shit. And then tomorrow, one bad drink every damn day. So we're gonna learn how to not drink our sugars. That's gonna be my first goal. Oh, and I started looking on YouTube because like, well, maybe I need to find some videos on how you know, people to motivate me to clean and organize my house, right? Because I mean, I've been trying to do that, and then I get so overwhelmed and I get all like whatever. So I found this one video said about ADHD and cleaning, and oh my god, the lady had some awesome tips, and I was like, damn. And I hate to say it, they do sound like me. So she said she went to this ADHD convention, and everybody there, even the work people were, though they were late and they were lost and they couldn't find them. Like, I'm supposed to drive this person to the airport, but I can't really remember the name. I can't remember what they look like. I don't remember to meet them. And then the guy, you know, she was supposed to do this. He said the same thing. And then the lady that they told, she's like, I couldn't remember either. And then, but they got together and they made it out, right? And yeah, he's even I guess he said that, you know, the one of the workers there said that they had this is like the biggest lost and found they'd ever, you know, ever seen in their lives because it's a bunch of ADHD people, you know. And it's like, dude, they do sound like me. I'm completely like that. I'm completely that much of a mess. But yeah, her tips are awesome. Like, and I'm already implementing some of these tips. Like, I mean, I use totes to throw clothes in, you know. And but she's like, why not have like shelves and totes, you know, or, you know, shelves and baskets, right? And that totally makes a lot of sense. And labeling shit and zoning shit. And she said, like, for ADHD people, you probably just need 1 or 2 steps, not more than that at a time. Otherwise, you know, you start getting lost. And to keep it simple, what she said, you know, start training your brain, and then having some alerts on your phone, like even like 6 reminders for 2 minutes to tidy your house, like throughout the day, you know. And oh shit, let me get over. There's a ambulance coming around. But anyway, there they go. Okay, now back to what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, I was like, dude, a lot of these I could, and then like like she's, you know, I don't know. And some of these tips are from other people. I've heard some of this shit from other people too. But it's always good to get reinforcements, because then, you know, you forget, you don't get motivated. And I still want to watch how people do shit, so I can actually try copying them to clean and stuff, because maybe that would help me, you know? Quick and easy tips to trying to use and implement. And you're like, why not? Because I mean, and I got my book. I brought my little bag, which I have my 2 books that I'm still reading, The Intellectual Life, and I'm reading the second book in Elite, which I started talking about last night, but I don't think I'm gonna post that video either. So you probably won't hear about that book. But I don't know. I could be surprised. I might say, it's good enough. I'll just throw it on there. Who cares? You know what I mean? So I throw it on YouTube anyway. And like, whatever. So you can see my disorganized, crazy thinking patterns here. Shit. But and then and then I wrote down some notes for myself, because I think I'm like, before I did want to do this, where, you know, you have like a meal plan, like every night you have a certain kind of dinner, like say Meatless Monday, Taco Tuesday, or you know what I mean, Mexican Day, I guess, or whatever, you know what I mean. Then you cook something from that thing that day, like that's what you're planning. Like she said, crock-pot night every Wednesday, crock-pot night, you know, or seafood night, or whatever, you know. And I was like, yeah, I need to do, because that's what I did tell myself. I know I need to make, like, if I made breakfast and I made the same thing until I got used to cooking and doing it, it would become a habit for me and be easy, and I would just get into the routine of cooking breakfast every morning. You know what I mean? And then I can always change it up, like, but I don't want to just, like, and I guess this is where the 2-step thing comes in, because that's why I feel like if I did one, like, say, cook scrambled eggs every day, right? For a week, you know, until I got used to it, whatever, simple. That way you wash the pans, do this, you know, everything, you know, where you get just in the habit of doing it, clean up, and be done with it, you know what I mean? Every morning. And then it would just become second nature. Because that actually makes more sense to me than trying to do 5 different breakfasts every day. Like, say, oh, today's scrambled eggs, tomorrow's pancakes, the next day's, what would it be? Toast and oatmeal, you know what I mean? Just like that. That would be too much for me every single fucking day. Even though I need variety, and like, oh, yogurt one day, you know what I mean? Even though, yeah, and yogurt sounds pretty easy, you know, so that wouldn't be an easier swap. But I might do that on like lazy days when I don't want to cook. I just like say, oh, here, so eat some yogurt, eat some cereal, you know what I mean? As a whatever. But try to get where I'm doing, say, eggs. That way it's not like, oh, you know, too much. You know, if every day is different, it might be just a little too much for me, you know? And like I said, then I could get where, once I'm used to, say, the eggs every day, I could change, like, say, eggs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday, let's say we do pancakes, you know what I mean? So then I could change it up to pancakes, adding pancakes twice a week. And then, you know, that might help me out and do better, you know? Because there are definitely some changes I'd like to make. And then she said, like, label like a toddler school, you know? Everything has labels so you can find shit and you know where things go, and you start training your brain to, you know where shit goes. And it might keep things minimal too, because like I said, I really do want to minimize my house, but I part of my, you know, I just got to figure out how I'm going to do that. But yeah, that shelving idea sounds like a great idea. You know, plus, okay, like I have totes in my house that have shit in it. Like sometimes I put my kitchen utensils in some totes and my medicines in a tote and this and that, right? But then I have it like blocked off because where it's hard to get to because I put all this other shit in front of it. And then, you know, sometimes you have to pull a tote down, like say 2 totes down to get to the bottom tote. And that's kind of be annoying too. Like that irritates me, and then it makes me like want to get something or do something or want to dig for shit. Like, which tote is it in? You know what I mean? That's why some of my totes are see-through, because of that. So I can go, oh, this is what it looks like might be in here. You know, but instead of just labeling them. But yeah, it can be really annoying if it's harder to get to because you don't have it organized. So that's what I was if I put a shelving system in my kid's closet and then put these totes in them nicely, and then label the totes so that they say, hey, socks and underwear, and bathing suits maybe, and then, you know, pants and shirts and then whatever. Like even if it's say a small thing for like Aiden's work crap, you know what I mean? That way it's all organized, and then he can get to it easy. I can get to it easy. Piece of cake. You know what I'm saying? And it looks prettier. That's the biggest thing. It would be more organized, more prettier, and easy to get to. And we're not burying it and trying to go, oh, because they do have drawers, but sometimes these drawers are filling up. Like even the towels. Technically, I have a tote for extra towels, you know, so that if we run out of the towels that are in there because I didn't have enough time to get to washing them or whatever, they can dig out the ones in this tote to use, you know, for emergency purposes, you know. But it's very unorganized, and sometimes I have shit loaded on these totes because they're just there in the way, sitting around. So, you know, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I've got to get really a better sense of organized, because it's ridiculous. Plus, it would make shit easier to clean if everything was neat and tidy. You know, it would be a lot less, like she said, it would be easy to wipe shit down. You know, if you have it until you pull the tote, you wipe the counter down, put it back in there. You know what I'm saying? And I guess occasionally, you know, clothing totes would never get dirty. They don't get dirty. Like, I've never had a problem with dirt getting in there because I closed the lid, you know? And shit like that. But, you know, if they ever did, you could clean them easily. You know, it's not like a trash can where trash cans get nasty, you know? But I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I was like, yeah, these are like usable tips. But she said, start baby steps. Start with one. Like she said, you know, zoning the condiments could be the first one. That's the first thing she did, was zone her condiments in the refrigerator, so she had a spot for them, so they were all organized on the side door, and you know, and she could find it, and she wouldn't have 4 open ketchups in her refrigerator from not being able to find one, you know. And I thought, yeah, smart. And then, you know, because I mean, we pretty much do use the side drawers for condiments, but sometimes those condiments move to the bigger spot. Like, I don't know why, but they'll like literally end up in the big part of the refrigerator instead of the side doors. Like, why did they get moved to here to there? You know, I don't know, but that's what ends up happening. And then they might end up in the back of the fridge, like she said, and then you don't know it's there, and then, you know. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I totally get that. It's totally good. And I remember trying to do that with drinks. Like, I got one of those soda thingies where you can put the sodas in there, the cans. But it didn't work for me for some reason. I don't know why. Like, maybe it took up space, or it just, I don't know. That did not. That system didn't work. And I even tried to do the whole, like, you know, put shit in totes like that in the refrigerator, but it didn't work for me. Maybe it's because I didn't label it. So we got, you know, and somehow maybe I didn't have it easy, like it wasn't organized easy enough, or it wasn't easy where I had it where you could pull it out easy. You had to still grab one tote, pull it out, get the back tote thing or something. I don't know. I just know that it just didn't work for me because I didn't do something right when I did try that system a long time ago, you know. So I don't know. Like I said, I might figure that out. Like, I'm gonna try her cleaning method too on cleaning the fridge, and see if that helps. That way when I organize it and test it out, you know, okay. And then, like I said, I guess I should let everybody know, this is where these things go. This is where they need to stay. Don't move them somewhere else, you know. Yeah, we'll see. But you know, anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been watching that while I was killing my last hour. But yeah, before I go to work, which I wish I did not have to go to work today. Like I said, I'd rather just stay home and do that stuff. But you know, I need the money. There's a reason I work. It's for the money. You know, you're watching these. I saw this like meme yesterday. This guy's like, one of those video memes, and he's like, says, you gotta go to work. You like this, don't you? You like that, don't you? It's supposed to be for long breaks, when you're taking a long break and you have to go back, and you're like, motivate yourself to go back to work. You know? And I was like, yeah, that's me. I need that. I need that motivation, because that's how I feel. Like, I'm working for money to buy all this shit that I fucking need to live. You know, to enjoy life. But we'll see how it goes. Because like I said, I have my priorities. I'm going to figure this out. Baby steps. I say that, but we'll see. And I mean, I haven't been working Grubhub at all. But I want to. I want to get back on it. I gotta make myself do it. Like, I'm thinking, maybe I can get my 2 hours Thursday, Friday when I'm off. Just 2 hours this week. I know that's not great, but like I said, my husband's not doing it right now with his car having flats. You know, and he said he needs new tires, because they're not just flat, I think they're really bad. And, but, I don't know, if he bought new, it cost too much. He said he's gonna try to get some used ones from someone, but I don't know. So far it hasn't happened. I think it's because he doesn't have money, and he has to save his money for his trip down south next month at the end of the month. You know, because he doesn't know when he's gonna make money. You know, he has to make it 2 months, right? And he has to save money for this trip, and you know, shit like that. And I kind of get it, because you know how it is. You're always gonna want money to spend for groceries, or you know, something, a treat, whatever, you know. And then I know he uses his credit cards too to also do that. So he might have to pay a credit card sometimes. You know, because sometimes he will, like the last 2 months he has given me like money for his 2 of his credit cards. I've been paying the rest of them, but 2 of them he's been paying, because he's had money to do that, which was nice, you know. It's nice not to worry about those freaking credit cards. But I was like, shit, I still have all these other freaking things that I still have to pay for, and you know, and all these other credit cards. Part of me is like, can you just make all the money for your own fucking credit cards? Because that would help me out. I didn't have your credit cards to worry about. Like, even if you just paid the minimum, because that's what I've been doing. I pretty much told myself for his, I'm just paying the fucking minimum. Whatever the fuck the minimum is, that's what I'm paying, because I cannot afford more than he's lucky I can pay it at all. You know, because I know he needs those cards to try to keep managing, considering, because I mean, I know what it's like to not, I mean, if he has a job, to not have money consistently. You know what I mean? Or you do, it's limited amount that you have to use through the month, you know? Because I've had to do that. Like when I was staying home, I had limited from what I had, you know, from whether I earned it or, you know, whatever. My means of income, what I would have to do to keep it going. And sometimes I even required pawning things, selling shit on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and you know, like I said, doing whatever the hell it takes, just, you know, to get money. My lord. But yeah. Those days, I don't miss them. I ain't gonna lie. That's a lie. What am I saying? I do miss. Okay, I miss some aspects of that. I shouldn't say I don't miss it, because I do miss it. I do miss having that freedom. You know what I mean? And like I said, back then I was able to manage where I could take care of that shit. Like when I did have credit cards, I was the one paying my credit cards, and I was paying for household stuff, food stuff, going out, you know, field trips, school stuff, homeschooling. My husband didn't want to pay for any of that shit. I had to do it, or it had to be free. And like I said, there's a lot of homeschooling shit that is free, but you know how it is. When you're at least mom, we think we have to spend some. You know, I have to spend some. I gotta do this. You know, gasoline for the car to get anywhere. You know, God. And if we went out, sometimes we wanted to eat lunch with people, and we wanted to maybe even eat out lunch because we were like if you swim, you get hungry. You're like, let's stop at McDonald's. You know, so. You know, but I just said life seems so much easier. And then I was like, how the fuck did we manage? But I know my bills are more higher than they were back then, but still, you know what I mean? It's just like, still, how? I don't know. I almost feel like even if I hadn't gone to work, I would have found a way to make it happen and work. You know what I mean? Like, I would have figured it out. I just don't know. And like I said, back then my husband, he only paid for his credit cards and the households, like the rent, the gas, water, electric, shit like that, you know, phone bill. He did pay all that crap, you know, back then, which was nice, you know, because like I said, those are necessities, right? You have to have them. So, you know, that freaking helped. And you know, those were his responsibilities, you know, because like I said, all my shit was pretty much extra curriculum, you know. Oh, extra activities. So, you know, and I mean, I guess, like, you know how men are, oh, household stuff, well, we can find a way to live without the shit you think we have to clean the house, to whatever, like, I don't know, you know, toilet paper, right? Yeah, you know, he's a guy, it wouldn't be that hard. You know, Jesus. Like, I had friends who wanted to use, like, reusable fucking toilet paper, and they did. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. I want to throw the shit away, okay? You know, maybe my husband would have been fine using reusable toilet paper because he wouldn't have to clean the shit. But, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, I don't want to have to, because that's why I tried the disposable diapers, and I was like, fuck this. Plus, taking, like, let's say you're out and about and you have to change your diaper. Then you have to, what, sit in your car while you take it home, and then, you know? I'm like, that was just too much. I was like, I don't know how these people do this shit. I don't know how they did it in the old days. How annoying. But I think in the old days, baby stayed home more too. Oh my God, we're at 21 minutes now. All right, I'm quitting because this is way too long. Bye.